Now let us see how a molecule may be represented from the molecular model. Now one method is called Fisher method or Fisher model. Now in Fisher method, the molecule is held in such a way that two groups are directed towards you in a horizontal plane, and the other two groups are directed away from you in a vertical plane. Now consider this molecule. Here the green ball represents chlorine because chlorine is a greenish yellow gas. Now the red ball represents bromine because bromine is a dark brown liquid. Now blue ball represents iodine because it is a violet solid. And this yellow ball represents fluorine because fluorine is a yellowish green gas. So once again, red ball bromine, blue ball iodine, green ball chlorine, and this yellow ball fluorine. Now this middle ball, to which all these groups are connected, is carbon. Now hold this molecule such that two groups are directed towards you in a horizontal plane. Now this bromine and chlorine are directed towards you in a horizontal plane, and this iodine and fluorine are directed away from you. This iodine is away from you and fluorine is away from you in a vertical plane. So two groups are directed towards you in a horizontal plane, and the two groups are directed away from you in a vertical plane. Now you draw a cross, and then on the horizontal line, on the left hand side, you draw bromine, and on the right hand side you draw chlorine, and on the vertical line at the top you draw iodine, and at the bottom of the vertical line you draw fluorine. So that is Fisher formula. Once again, draw bromine on the left hand side of the horizontal line, draw chlorine on the right hand side, draw chlorine on the right hand side of the horizontal line. So this is the horizontal line. On the left hand side you draw bromine, and on the right hand side you draw chlorine, and at the top of the vertical line you draw iodine, at the bottom of the vertical line you draw fluorine. So this is Fisher formula. Now coming to another method of representation, that is the wedge model. Now for drawing the wedge model, you place the molecule on a plane. So this is the plane, and you place the molecule on the plane. So we have chlorine, bromine, iodine, fluorine, and carbon, and you cut a circle below any one of the groups lying on the plane. Now here I have cut a hole below fluorine. Then push the fluorine group through the circle downwards so that carbon and chlorine and bromine lie on the plane, and iodine, which is above the plane, and fluorine is now below the plane. Now bonds which lie on the plane are drawn by normal lines, and iodine is above the plane, and bond to iodine is represented by a solid wedge and bound to fluorine by a broken wedge. Now suppose I am rotating this molecule in this manner so that the CBr bond is now parallel to the edge of the plane. So CBr bond is now parallel to the edge of the plane. This is Br, and Cl comes here, iodine comes here, and fluorine comes at the bottom. So fluorine should be drawn in between iodine and chlorine using a broken wedge. You can see fluorine, the yellow ball below carbon, which is in between this chlorine and iodine. So iodine and chlorine, iodine is above the plane. It is bonded to carbon by a solid wedge. WEDGE, wedge means in Malayalam apple. Now fluorine, which is below the plane, and we see it in between chlorine and iodine, is represented using a broken wedge showing that it is below the plane. Now bromine and chlorine lie on the plane. Now the bond connected to bromine is now parallel to the edge of the plane. Now then we can draw the figure like this. So this is the figure. Bromine is now parallel to the edge of the plane. Then chlorine is there. Fluorine connected by means of a broken wedge, and iodine connected by a solid wedge. Now from Fisher formula, we can draw this wedge formula. What is done is, iodine is at the top of the vertical line. Now it forms the group which is connected to carbon by means of a solid wedge. Fluorine, which is at the bottom of the vertical line, is drawn using a broken wedge. Bromine on the left hand side, this is the left hand and the bromine is on the left hand side, is drawn using a normal horizontal line which is parallel to the plane on which it is present. Then chlorine, which is on the right hand side, is drawn like this. Now suppose an observer is here looking at this chlorine and bromine. Bromine comes on his left hand side and chlorine comes on his right hand side. Suppose an observer, a man is standing here and he is looking, then bromine comes on his left hand side and chlorine comes on his right hand side. Now another molecule is given here. This is the Fisher form. Now on solid wedge we have CS2, CS3 because it is at the top of the vertical line in the Fisher formula. Now CS3 and Br. Here CS2, CS3 is at the top of the vertical line. So using a solid wedge, we connect CS2, CS3 to the carbon. Then CS3 is on the left hand side, so on a normal line parallel to the plane, we write CS3 which is on the left hand side, and Br is on the right hand side, so we write Br here, and H is below the plane because it is at the bottom of the vertical line, so H is drawn using a broken wedge connected to the carbon. Now an observer standing here will find that this methyl group is on the left hand side and this bromine is on his right hand side. So this is the wedge model for this Fisher model. So we can convert a Fisher model into wedge model. Now there is another aspect called configuration. Configuration represents the relative arrangement of groups in a molecule in space. So configuration represents the direction of various groups around a carbon atom in space. So there will be 4 groups around a carbon in a molecule, and the orientation or direction of these groups in space is called configuration. Now for denoting configuration we have 2 methods. One is the DL method, that is capital D and capital L. Now it was chosen as the standard a molecule called D plus glyceraldehyde. It happens that the optical rotation of capital D glyceraldehyde is positive, means dextro. So positive means dextro, and the negative means levo. So D plus glyceraldehyde has the configuration, this one, that is CHO at the top, CH2OH at the bottom, H on the left hand side and OH on the right hand side. Now its image structure is called L, capital L glyceraldehyde. And any derivative of D plus glyceraldehyde has the D configuration, we say. Suppose this CHO group is here oxidized to COOH, then the corresponding acid is having D configuration. Suppose the CHO group here is oxidized to COOH, then the corresponding acid is called acid has L configuration. Now suppose the OH group here is replaced by bromine, then the corresponding compound will have D configuration, but it need not be plus rotation. See, configuration has nothing to do with optical rotation, because optical rotation is a property obtained by the interaction of the electric field of the molecule with the electric component of plane polarized light, and it can only be observed exclusively in a polarimeter. By looking at a structure or configuration or model, we cannot say it is levorotatory or dextrorotatory. Now so much about configuration, DL configuration. Now coming to another method for assigning configuration, that is RS notation. Now in RS notation, the various groups around carbon atom are arranged in increasing or decreasing order of priority. Now to assign priority to a group around a carbon, we consider the atomic weight of the group. A group having higher atomic weight is given higher preference. Now if the groups are arranged around a carbon in the order of decreasing preference in the clockwise direction, then it is called R configuration, or the molecule possesses R configuration. So in a molecule, the various groups are arranged in the clockwise direction in the decreasing order of priority, then the configuration is called R configuration. So in a molecule, when groups around a carbon atom are arranged in the decreasing order of priority in the clockwise direction, then it is called R configuration. When the groups are arranged in the decreasing order of priority in the anti-clockwise direction, then it is called S configuration. Now, to assign R and S configuration using a molecular model, what is done is you take the molecule and hold the molecule in such a way that the group of least preference is away from the observer. Now here I am holding fluorine, which is the group of least preference. Why? Because its atomic weight is the least. Now the highest atomic weight is for iodine, which is blue, then bromine, which is red, and chlorine, which is green. So here we can say highest atomic weight for iodine, then next comes bromine, then comes chlorine, and finally comes fluorine. And fluorine has the least preference, so it is held away from the observer. Then number 1 is given to iodine because it has the highest atomic weight. Number 2 is given to bromine because it has the second highest atomic weight. Number 3 is given to chlorine because it has the third highest atomic weight. Then 1, 2, 3. This arrangement is in the clockwise direction, therefore it is R. So this configuration is R configuration. Now then, we take the corresponding S configuration. Now here we hold the molecule where the group of least preference is fluorine, which is away from us. We have iodine here, chlorine here, and bromine here. But this is not in the order because it is iodine having preference 1 and bromine having preference 2 and chlorine having preference 3. So we can say from iodine to bromine to chlorine, number 1 highest preference, number 2 second most preference, number 3 third most preference. So 1, 2 and 3. So this direction is anti-clockwise, so that this molecule possesses S configuration. So 1, 2, 3. Highest molecular weight iodine, then second highest molecular weight bromine, third highest molecular weight, that is chlorine. So iodine is given number 1, bromine is given number 2, and chlorine is given number 3, and the order is 1, 2, 3, or the direction is anti-clockwise, so this is S. Now what happens when an R configuration and S configuration are examined? Now you place the R configuration and S configuration here. We find that suppose you place a mirror here. Suppose a mirror is placed here. Then we get the image of this bromine here, image of this chlorine here, image of fluorine here. So fluorine here and its image here, and iodine here, its image here. So that we can say these two are related as object and image structures. So iodine, bromine, this bromine object, and this bromine its image, this iodine and its image here. This fluorine is far away and its image is formed far away. This fluorine is near the mirror and we get its image here. So these two, R and S, are related as object and image structures. Then such object and image structures are called enantiomers. We have seen earlier in a previous video. And again, suppose we place one structure, the object structure or image structure, over the object structure, so that light groups, similar groups come closer. And we find that iodine and iodine coincide, chlorine and chlorine coincide, but chlorine does not coincide with the other fluorine. Chlorine coincides with the bromine, and the other fluorine also coincides with the bromine. So in whatever way you place the structure or the image structure or the object structure or the object structure or the image structure, in whatever way, only two groups will come in coincidence. Two groups will come closer, so that these two are, we say, non-superimposable. So such non-superimposable object and image structures are called enantiomers. So here you can place in the manner that iodine and iodines come closer, chlorine and chlorine comes closer, but chlorine does not come closer to fluorine. Fluorine comes closer to iodine, and bromine, and bromine comes closer to fluorine. Here again fluorine comes closer to fluorine, then bromine comes closer to bromine, but iodine comes closer to chlorine and iodine comes closer to chlorine. There again they are non-superimposable. So in whatever way you place the object over the image, only two groups will come closer, or two groups will superimpose. All the four groups will not superimpose, so we say these two are non-superimposable mirror images. And such molecules are called optically active molecules, and they are also called enantiomers. So one condition for optical activity is that the object and image structures should not be superimposable, or the object and image structures are non-superimposable. Now, starting from a Fisher formula, we can find out the RS notation for a molecule. Now here the Fisher formula is given, where iodine is at the top, fluorine is at the bottom of the vertical line, bromine on the left hand side and the chlorine on the right hand side. Now iodine, which is having the maximum atomic weight, is given preference number 1. Bromine comes next, preference number 2. Chlorine comes third, preference number 3, and fluorine, having the least atomic weight, is given number 4. Now an odd number of interchanges invert the configuration. Suppose we start from an R molecule, we interchange a pair of groups, then the resulting molecule will be S. Suppose we again interchange any two groups, then we get the original configuration. So generally we say an odd number of interchanges. What means 1, 3, 5, etc. So odd number of interchanges will invert the configuration, means R is converted to S or S is converted to R. An even number of interchanges will retain the configuration. An even number means 2, 4, 6, etc. Now suppose here this is not in an order in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Suppose we interchange this bromine and iodine. So here bromine comes at the top and iodine comes on the left hand side of the horizontal line. Now iodine has preference number 1 and bromine has preference number 2, chlorine has preference number 3 and fluorine has preference number 4. So this orientation of groups 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the clockwise direction, and so this isomer is R, and since the interchange is only once, or the interchange is an odd number, only one interchange, one is an odd number, then the original configuration should be S. So this one is S. So from Fisher formula we can find out whether the structure is configuration is R or S, and for that we have to sometimes interchange groups, and if we are interchanging the groups to an odd number, then we get an inverted configuration, whereas if the interchange is even, then we get the original configuration. Now assignment reaction using Wedge model. Here suppose we take this model and we consider this yellow ball as hydrogen, then this blue ball as ethyl group, so that the green ball is methyl. Then you take a plane, place it on the plane, then draw a circle, cut a circle below here the group of least preference, and the yellow ball represent hydrogen. And the green ball represents CS2, CS3, that is ethyl group, and the blue ball represents same methyl group, and this red ball represents bromine. And suppose I am pushing the hydrogen group through the hole downwards and rotating such that the bromine is here, so that this bond is parallel to this side. See, once again, this green ball represents methyl group, this blue ball represents ethyl group, and this yellow ball represents hydrogen, and this red ball represents bromine. So green ball methyl, this blue ball ethyl, then yellow ball hydrogen, and the red ball, that is bromine. Then cut a hole below the yellow ball, that is hydrogen. Then push that that group through this hole, so that now carbon, the methyl group, that is green, and the bromine, that is red, are lying on the plane, and ethyl group is above the plane. You rotate the molecule in an anticlockwise manner, so that the carbon to Br bond, this bond becomes parallel to this edge. So carbon to Br bond becomes parallel to the edge of the plane. Now this particular representation can be drawn on the paper with the carbon connected to the green ball, that is methyl, and carbon connected to bromine. Now the bond is now parallel to the edge of the side of the plane. Now the CBr bonds drawn parallel to the side of the plane, and methyl group drawn again with a normal line, and the ethyl group is connected to carbon using a solid wedge, and hydrogen here connected to carbon using a broken wedge. Now this will be the representation. Ethyl, which is connected to carbon, using a solid wedge. Hydrogen, which is connected to carbon using a broken wedge. Now this methyl, that is green, and this ethyl here, hydrogen comes about in the middle, connected by broken wedge. It is below the plane. Now CBr bond drawn using a normal line which is parallel to the edge of the plane. Then Br minus is removed in an SN1 reaction. Then we get a planar carbocation where hydrogen is, so Br is now removed. This system becomes planar, so that the angle between the bonds is now 120 degree, and all these groups, all the three groups, that is methyl, ethyl and hydrogen and carbon, will lie on the same plane. Hydrogen is drawn with a broken wedge connected to carbon, and ethyl connected to carbon using a solid wedge, and methyl connected using a normal bond. This only means that the planar system is considered lying on a plane like this, so that ethyl is now above the plane, ethyl is now above the plane, and methyl on the plane, and there is no bromine and fluorine there. So hydrogen there. So hydrogen is connected to carbon using a broken wedge, in the sense that it is below the plane, and methyl using a normal line such that it is on the plane, and ethyl connected by means of a solid wedge, indicating that it is above the plane. But there is another plane, a plane going like this. It's a plane going like this. And on that plane, the hydrogen, ethyl, carbon and methyl will lie on that plane. So when bromine is removed, we get a carbocation. The carbon is sp2 hybridized, and hydrogen is shown below the plane, and methyl on the plane, and ethyl above the plane. But there is another plane like this, which will contain the methyl, ethyl, carbon and hydrogen, so that the system is planar. So another plane will contain, when bromine is removed from the structure, another plane will contain the carbon, then ethyl, hydrogen and methyl, this positive carbon. When bromine is getting removed, we have a structure like that. Now that plane containing methyl, hydrogen and ethyl, with the carbon a positive charge. So you can draw such a plane. So this will be the plane where hydrogen, methyl, ethyl and carbon positive are present. Now the OH negative can attack from this side or from this side. When OH negative attacks from this side, the electron pair donated by OH negative will repel these bond pairs, so that these bonds are moved away from the electron pair. So when OH negative attacks here, the methyl, hydrogen and CS2, CH3 are moved away from this plane, at the back side of this plane. So hydrogen moves at the back side of this plane, methyl moves at the back side of this plane, and ethyl also moves at the back side of this plane. And OH attacks, connects to carbon, positive carbon by means of a bond. And this happens to be an isomer with levo-rotation or negative sign for rotation. Then when OH negative attacks from this side, the groups hydrogen, ethyl and methyl are repelled in the opposite direction, and we get this structure OH connected to this carbon. Then methyl, hydrogen and ethyl are repelled in the opposite direction, and that happens to be plus butane 2-ol, which is dextro-rotatory, and this is levo-rotatory. So this is the representation of the reaction using Wedge formula, and you must remember that this is a planar carbon and it can be attacked from both sides equally, so that we get equal amounts of the plus and minus forms or dextro and levo forms. And that mixture, suppose 50% of this is formed, then 50% of this is formed, and again these are labeled as object and image structures, and hence this mixture is a mixture of enantiomers, we can say, in equal amounts. And when the positive isomer tries to rotate the plane of polarization towards the right, then the negative isomer will try to rotate the plane of polarization towards the left, giving no rotation at all, if and only if these two are present in equal amounts. Suppose this isomer predominates. Suppose you have 50 molecules of this one and 51 molecules of this one, then 50 molecules of this isomer will cancel the rotation of 50 molecules of this isomer, then one isomer remaining, so that there is a net rotation in the negative direction, levo rotation. Suppose this is in excess, then the mixture will show positive rotation. Customization is the process where equal amounts of enantiomers are formed, so that net optical rotation is 0. Now that is enough. Thank you.